The Supreme Court issued several major rulings on what was today the last day of their term, including one that says any child born on U.S. soil is an American citizen. Good evening, I'm Steve Eager.
And I'm Heather Hayes. The justices also struck down limits on political party spending and campaigns and allowed restrictions for transgender athletes. Fox 4's Shaun Rabb in our newsroom tonight with the breakdown on the court's rulings. Shaun.
Yeah, you know what? None more anticipated than that birthright citizenship decision. The ACLU brought this case and afterwards said it should have been a unanimous opinion. It wasn't. Still, though, the lead attorney called it a rejection of the Trump administration's extreme attempts to rewrite the Constitution and to exclude entire portions of American-born children from our country. The Supreme Court drawing a line on birthright citizenship. A majority of justices agreeing a child born in the U.S., if parents are illegal or temporarily here, that child is a U.S. citizen. Groups that unified in fighting President Donald Trump's attempt to undo the 14th Amendment held a briefing after the ruling. KDFW was lead attorney.
The Trump administration's assaults on immigrant communities and mixed status families have been relentless. But today, we held the line against this cruel and corrosive attempt to alter one of our most cherished constitutional values.
But not a unanimous decision. 5 justices said the 14th Amendment is the standard and the president's executive order unconstitutional. 3 conservative justices, Alito, Thomas, Gorsuch, dissented. And Justice Brett Kavanaugh agreed that the president's executive order was unlawful, but said a future Congress could change the 14th Amendment with new legislation. On social media, the president saying the Supreme Court's decision was, quote, too bad for our country, but we can easily make it up in Congress through legislation. And on X, Governor Greg Abbott posting, birthright citizenship has become a powerful magnet for illegal immigration that will forever change our nation if left unaddressed. His comments addressed by KDFW.
Any amount of anti-immigrant political rhetoric is beside the point. The Constitution says what it says, and it guarantees these children's citizenship.
In other opinions, the court upheld a state's right to ban transgender athletes from girls' and women's sports, saying the ban does not violate Title IX. That's a federal law that prohibits discrimination in education. Texas began its transgender ban in 2021 and is one of about 30 states with prohibitions in place that will now have the Supreme Court ruling behind them. And Vice President J.D. Vance, one of the plaintiffs, claiming restricting how much money a political party can put into an individual political campaign is a violation of First Amendment free speech. By a 6-3 vote, the court concluded you cannot limit the amount of money a political party puts into a campaign, calling that limit a restriction on freedom of speech.
Over the last 50 years or so, the Supreme Court and the Federal Election Commission have both said, no, we need limits on the impact money can have on election outcomes. But this conservative court has been stripping away limits to allow money to have its impact. And we'll see where that leads us.
Well, the question about birthright citizenship has been answered again, but you know what? It may not be over. Republican Congressman Rand Paul's already filed legislation for a constitutional amendment that would require at least one parent to be a U.S. citizen before this birthright citizenship could be established. And Republican Speaker Mike Johnson said he believes birthright citizenship has been, quote, grossly abused, adding Congress will have to deal with it, but right now unsure what that would look like. Still, the battle over birthright may not be over.